Hi, I am Salih Yilmaz, one of the senior energy analysts for Bloomberg Intelligence. I'd like to walk you through our mid-year outlook for the European refining space. Improving fuels demand, supply constraints driven by the EU's oil ban on Russia, China's export curbs, and refinery closures are poised to accelerate the recovery of European refiners' profitability this year. The fundamentals in 2021 remain challenging, though record refining margins this year will bolster cash generation. Elevated crude oil pricing means higher feedstock costs, which tend to weigh on the refiners' profitability. However, the effects are negligible for now, as the oil product supply crunch yields extremely high refining margins. We continue to see risks skewed to the upside for crude prices, which would remain a headwind for refiners. The end of maintenance period also means refinery activity is poised to increase, which should help ease market tension in oil products and could weigh on refining margins in the second half. We nonetheless expect these margins to stay relatively healthy and above the historical average, given resilient demand and risk of further disruption to product flows from Russia. Longer term, new refineries coming online in the Middle East and Asia could help ease the supply deficit in oil product markets. The EU's embargo on Russian oil amplifies the extended shock of a global refined products shortage. Around 2 million barrels a day of Russian product exports may struggle to find buyers. Diesel may suffer the most, as it accounts for 1 million barrels a day of supply and, unlike crude oil, cannot be redirected to India and China, which are net long in supply. The EU was still importing about 800,000 barrels a day of diesel from Russia in April, according to the IEA. Refining margins are currently extremely high due to the lack of enough available capacity and the embargo on Russian exports. Beyond the near term, however, refining overcapacity may still pressure refining margins in Europe, and we continue to believe that facilities lacking flexibility and complexity, especially those in Europe, could suffer the most. In the rest of the world, though some projects might be delayed or cancelled, significant new capacity is still expected to come online, and this could drive older refineries out of business. Our EU refining and marketing peer group underperformed the Stoxx Europe 600 oil and gas index in the last 12 months, with demand concerns through most of 2021, though sustained healthy refining margins and upside potential for fuels demand may further improve outlook in the second half of the year. Turkish refiner Tüpraş's shares have outperformed the peer group in the last 12 months, while Saras has also recovered notably this year. Solid operational performance through the extremely favorable refining margin environment may support the rest of the peer group's performance in the rest of this year as well. Crude prices may remain elevated in the near term, posing a headwind for refiners. An increase in refining activity may help ease the tension in the products markets and weigh on margins in the second half of the year, though, as mentioned, we expect them to remain above historical average. Structural changes in oil demand are likely to emerge longer term, however, which is a bearish factor for the region's refiners. Prior to COVID-19, electric vehicles and improving fuel efficiencies in auto technology weren't expected to immediately reverse the near-term rise in demand for traditional vehicle fuels in developing countries. Yet, accelerating EV adoption forms a long-term headwind for demand. Thank you for listening. You can find all our research and relevant data for European refiners at BI RNMKE Go on the terminal.